Oh boy. Hello everybody, and welcome back to Future Girls. Where we left off, we had a wife off. And, just like with everything, Leona won, because Ariel doesn't stand a chance. But I'm also slightly curious about the path that Ariel would have. Though, if you want to see the path that Ariel has, you should download the game if you're of legal age, and read it yourself. Because this playthrough or whatever is going the Leona route. Unless something else happens at the end, I genuinely have no idea. We just wanted to make a gesture of goodwill, and to thank you for hosting us here, no matter how things turn out. Yeah, it's been really fun. We don't want to leave without treating you to something. Oh, you treated me to something last night, honey. Well, she treated me to something last night. The women bring me over to the table where a pot of pasta bubbles on the stove. I do like spaghetti. No, this is nice of you. You didn't have to do this. You're my guests, after all. But I really do appreciate it. Thank you, both of you. They laugh at me and beckon me to eat, excitedly taking off. I thought they were going to take something else off. With the tales of their cooking adventures. It's endearing, and it's going to make tomorrow all the more difficult. I don't sleep much. I don't think any of us do. I lie in bed, staring at the dark ceiling overhead, and I think about the enormity of the choice I have to make tomorrow. Turning someone away, rejecting them back into their natural timeline. Goodbye, Ariel. If I'm being brutally practical, I should make both of them go back. But if I was to be ethical and intelligent about all this, I should have started that 7 days ago. Now there's just a choice, if I can make it. The headlights that shift across the ceiling soon begin to fade, and the light outside brightening. I want to close my eyes to make it dark again, roll back the clock a few hours. The women beside me are still and quiet, but I can tell they're not really asleep. I've gotten used to their soft breathing and the way they squirm in their sleep. They're awake. Maybe only half awake like me, but still awake. The ringing of a phone jolts us all awake. I must have dozed off again, but I don't remember it. All the anxiety must have worn me out. My phone's ringtone sounds again, drawing my attention to it. I reach over my phone, groping it blindly, not thinking about the call until I press the phone to my ear. The voice of an older man is on the other line, and he asks me to speak to a professional, and speaks to me in a professional, no-nonsense tone. Then it clicks in my head. I already know what this call is. Excitement bubbles in my stomach. When I look at the women, their eyes are full of excitement too. I don't usually feel this proud of my achievements, but I can't help it. You did not get the job. I try to resume my tone, even as the man warmly praises my resume and offers me an entry-level position at the lab. I almost accept before he's even done talking. The women scramble around when I motion for a pad of paper, eagerly taking down the details of when I'm to come in and what to bring. I probably thank him 3 times before the women motion for me to wrap things up. I'm embarrassing myself. I click off the phone and throw myself down on the bed. Well, one of them censored. Holy shit. I knew it was going to happen, but it still makes my heart race just thinking about it. It didn't feel real until this moment. Congratulations! That acting was spot on. You sounded like you were hearing that for the first time. I wasn't acting, I'm just an idiot. I bury my face in my hands and laugh. I'm so stupidly happy that I can hardly see straight. The woman hugged me from the other side, cuddling up next to me. Finally, I heave out a sigh. Okay, I think I'm horny again. I'm gonna close my eyes and commit all this to memory, so when I look back on it, it'll be completely accurate. Leona giggles. It's cute how much this still means to you. You know you're gonna go on and do wonderful things at this job. You have a lot to look forward to, but you're still so excited about just getting the job. Just wait until you see what's to come. I never felt this excited about the future before. And I want you to be able to enjoy this moment, Drew, but I glance up at the Becky's of Leona's voice, which grows more serious by the word. Era and I are a bit of a time crunch. We have a portal to catch, so the words dampen my spirits, but I'll admit that I'm not surprised. I spent a lot of time thinking about this last night, but that doesn't make this moment any easier. It makes it very easy. I already know. Although the option weighs on me, I can't help but feel like there's an undeniably clear answer. If we're talking about the long-term emotional connection, then, well, I think you're both fantastic options, and I'm lucky to choose between either of you. Well, the name forms in my mouth, but I hesitate when I try to say it. I don't want to hurt anyone. But the women are staring at me, almost on the edge of their seats. They're so tense and anxious. I can't draw this out. I have to get this over with, or we're all going to have strokes in our early 20s. Thank goodness. I am surprised that it wasn't an option. Because it would have been kind of funny. It would have been kind of funny to go all of the Leona path and let you go Ariel. Or like go all of the Ariel path and go Leona. It would have been funny. Leona. I blurt out her name. It's clumsy and awkward, but it's the truth, and she lets out a cry of excitement. Oh my goodness. She throws her arms around me and buries her face in my neck. For a moment, I'm worried she's crying. But no, she's giggling happily against my neck, overcome with emotion and hiding her face. Ariel looks distraught, though. Are you serious? Like you're sure about this? You thought it through? I did, yeah, I'm sorry. It's just, she has boobs, and that's it. I don't know how to explain myself or how I feel about Leona. Something about her demeanor matches mine so well. I never thought I could be with a woman who would let me feel understood, but with Leona, I think that's possible. Ariel might be a fun challenge, but banking your entire future on a challenge, it doesn't sit right with me. Leona was the clear choice. I dare even say the obvious choice. And she didn't threaten to destroy the space-time continuum if you didn't pick her. If she's making you lie to me, blink twice. I'm not lying. I'm sorry. She won't take defeat gracefully, but in reality of it finally setting in, the devastation breaks across her expression. Oh, but we're meant for each other. I could show you. Just give me another week, maybe a month. We could redo everything, and I'll do better this time. You're being too clingy. Ariel, it doesn't work like that. Leona turns towards the other woman, silvering herself up appropriately. Come on, Ariel. We all knew this was a possibility from the start. We're both ready for it, weren't we? But I was supposed to win! True love! This is true love. Don't be like that. You're gonna find plenty of true love in the future. I promise. This just didn't happen to be it. Please don't be so upset. Right. Don't be upset. She glances aside, clearly upset. Tears are swimming in her big eyes. She clears her throat. I'm gonna let you two enjoy your happiness. I have a portal to catch. I'll be in Drew's bedroom, waiting for my ride out of here. Bye, Drew. Was nice, or whatever, until it wasn't. Well, I guess it's gonna be awkward in the future. She rushes out of the room, not wanting to be here with us anymore. Leona looks as concerned as I am. Sure. Should we follow her? No, we don't want to get cut off in the portal too. That would be devastating for the timeline. So, I try to think of the situation, how a black hole is going to appear in my bedroom on command. In a few years, on this exact date, you're going to create a black hole that will bring Ariel back to the future. What? In a few years, on this exact date, you're going to create a black hole that will bring Ariel back to the future. One of us is, anyways. My past self will have already gone back in time, and then the two timelines will merge. What? Interesting. I hope this doesn't have any repercussions. If it does, then it's unlikely Ariel is going to get thrown out of here in a few moments. Although, that will be an unfortunate way to find out. We will stay quiet for a few seconds when suddenly there's a great tremble in the house. Something shudders against the walls and rattles the dishes in the cabinet. Then the house goes still again. I stare at Leona, who nods. That was her. So, it looks like everything should work out as we planned it. She's gone then? Yes, but in all likelihood, we're both there, waiting for her on the other side, so don't feel too bad. She's not alone. That's so strange. And confusing. I don't know what the hell is going on. Haha, well that was happens when you mess around with time travel. She smiles at me. tucking a lock of her hair beneath her ear. I'm happy you picked me. Well, I would hope so. It sounds so awkward to say out loud, but I don't know how else to put it, but I appreciate it. She laughs at herself at the absurdity of how it sounds. I'm sorry. I feel like I should be more romantic for your sake. I'm just a little flustered. No. You don't have to be anyways. I know this meant a lot to you. You don't have to put on a show for my sake. She nods and wraps her arms around my neck again. Thank you, though. I mean it. I know you're taking a chance on me, and that was a big decision to make. Ariel is not great, too, and I pulled up her chin and kissed her on the mouth, stopping that frantic chain of thought firing off in Leona's head. She relaxes against my lips. All the anxiety drains out of her, and she settles easily against me, her hands resting on my chest. The kiss says everything I needed to, resolving everything between us that needed to be sorted out. Her eyelashes flutter as she glances up at me again, a soft pink blush spreading across her cheeks. Time travel not have been invented here yet, but I'm already a fan. She smiles. So you're saying we should time travel more often? Absolutely not. She sighs happily. No, I agree. It shouldn't be messed around with like this. I just had a very special exception I had to make for you. Because you're irresponsible. Hey! She pushes me lightly at my teasing. We try it with something small scale like my affection for you, and that's something that would have serious repercussions in history. Events like that should be left alone. I think we can all agree on that. Still needs to be regulated. Leona giggles. I'm sure you'll get right on that in the future. Just don't get me into too much trouble, okay? Wouldn't dream of it. I wouldn't dream of it. It's unthinkable. Good. And since you're not getting me in trouble, here's something for you. I wanted to impress you. I hope it's alright. What if I didn't choose you, and you got this thing to impress me when I didn't choose you? On top of that, it's probably going to be heavily censored. So, I get to see the gift, and you can see the gift too, assuming that it's going to be a custom image. If you pay for the visual novel, if I remember, it'll be in the comments. But, she blushes faintly. Though I don't know what about it would impress you, since you've seen it all before. I just couldn't help myself. Stop. I cut her off again, not letting her talk the way to more anxieties. My hands move across her body, making her shudder as she leans against me. Her expression is twisted, almost a grimace.
Are you okay?
She nods. Yeah, I am. Everything's fine. Don't stop. Just let me feel it. Let me feel what? She moves my hands down her body, guiding them between her legs. She seems desperate for me to touch her, although not out of want. There's something else going on. I can read it on her face.
Are you okay?
Two of them. Well, I have to. I love Terry. Is this because of Ariel? No, it's not Ariel. It's just... Can't you just touch me? Please? I want to be with you. You picked me, so let me be with you. She kisses me again, and my resolve begins to waver. I don't want to keep asking questions. I just want to do what she says. My whole body's screaming at me to give her what she wants. But my mind won't stop muttering. Caution. Do you have any regrets? Now is not a good time for regrets. She shakes her head, looking devastated that I'm still talking about this. I'm worried. What if I'm stealing a future from you? Some future you're supposed to have. But you knew this was going to happen. That was the plan from the beginning. There's no use in being upset about it now. Leona, hey. I tilt her chin up, making her look at me with those wide, fearful eyes. I picked you. Whatever is going to happen is going to happen. I made this choice just as much as you did, okay? She nods a little and throws herself against me, finally kissing me back. This time, I feel like she means it. There was no custom image. I'm actually shocked. Although it could still happen. After leading me out into the living room, she undoes my pants and crosses me against the couch, tossing herself onto my lap. This might be the image. You're right, of course. Of course you're right. I don't know what got into me. We should be celebrating. And she shows me exactly how she means to celebrate, tripping her hips and grinding them against mine. I grab a handful of her hair, keeping her pinned in place as we kiss hungrily. I've never had a celebration as good as this one before. She slides down, taking me between her legs, her expression fluttering as she eases herself down onto me. I don't rush her, but the tension makes me grimace and I grind my molars together. What the hell is a molar? The soft ease of her body works its way around me. Her motions careful and deliberate. She balances her hands on my shoulders, her knees leaving little imprints on either side of the couch. In a moment, she poses like this, the delicate lingerie framing her body for me to see all of its glory. She's undeniably sexy. Maybe in a different way than Ariel. No, all of the ways more than Ariel. But something about seeing Leona like this is more gratifying. It's something special. Ariel was happy to throw off her clothes at any opportunity. With Leona, it feels more nuanced than that. We kiss again, deeper now, tasting each other's needs. She rides me with delicious roll of her trembling thighs, repeating the motion as we make out frantically until the pace grows to be too much. We break apart, our breaths staggering as Leona grinds herself down faster and more eagerly, taking me as deep as she can. I groan, caught in the flow of her movements, and totally now at her mercy. Now totally. The tight heat is relentless, but I can feel the moment she gets into it. Her walls tighten around me, the jerk of her hips becoming short and rapid. Her eyes fill with a wide, stunned wonder. She fucks herself all over my over and over until the first spasms of an orgasm threaten to overtake her. We roll our hips together, clumsily, meeting a couple of times, neither of us willing to slow down or stop. Leona cries out, my hands on her hips, holding her steady, nearing the end. Leona! My warning comes with an attempt to move off of me, but she stays right where she is. I can't hold back much longer, and though her motions slow, they don't stop. She reaches behind my head and takes hold of the couch. She roots herself in place. Stay. But she kisses away my ejections, kisses my mouth, the corner of my lips and my jaw. My doubt is pressed away with a touch of her lips. Stay. Finish in me. I slowed the slow paces towards her. My caution begins to wear down. How can I turn down an invitation like that when Leona is begging for it? She rolls her hips against me again, rapidly bringing us back where we were before. I bury my hand in her hair and chase, haunting the feeling, craving the rush, and letting my caution slip away. She cries out when she senses my willingness, the mood shifting, now that she knows we're going all the way, no half measures or full stops anymore. Her body shudders, fingers grasping onto me as she braces herself against the force of it. My mind empties, the thoughts explode into the light and color. The image of Leona's gorgeous naked body flashes behind my eyelids. To the sound of Leona's soft whimpers, I finish inside of her. She grasps gratefully, then groans happily as she slides off of me. Finally. You've been waiting that long, huh? She blesses softly and shrugs. It's just, I hope you meant that to mean what I think it did. It's still new, I know that, but I think it means you're really serious about this, about us, and I really appreciate that. I'm going to show you that you didn't make the wrong choice, Drew. I'm going to prove that to you for the rest of my life. She leans in and brushes her lips against mine, and I let her. I hope it does work out like that, and this will all be worth it in the end. And I hope that, if it does work out, Leona will believe me when I tell her she was the right choice. Oh, well, that's nice. So, I gotta... Oh! I didn't mean to skip that! Give me a second. Alright, so, this was future girls, or as I prefer to call it, future women, honestly a little shorter than I expected. And I had a theory that because there was custom art for the teacher, the lingerie worker, which I think is just a reference to their other visual novels, as well as that friend from high school or whatever, that you would have an alternate option between choosing Leona, Ariel, and these other women. But I guess it was just standoffish characters that mattered to the story, which is probably why they had custom art. So, because they're... I don't have my phone near me. I read this app called Choices, the Stories You Play from Pixelberry all the time. And there are times where in that app they'll say these are your 2 love interests, but then a third one will show up and you can choose that one instead. So I was kind of thinking that could be the same thing here, but apparently not. I did enjoy this, very much so. And you can see that I enjoyed it because I'm on the title card. This is not a picture. This is the game. Visual novel. And I'm just covering Ariel. I don't hate her. I don't dislike her. It's just I like boobs, you know, and she has them. I do like it. I don't know if I have much criticisms about the visual novel. There was one time, I don't remember what part it was, but where Darker Studios was writing like, oh, we're girls, we don't have intelligent things to talk about or say or think or something like that. That was not good. That wasn't not nice writing. But other than that, other than the weird kind of sexist thing, I don't care if it was a joke or not. It was bad. Outside of that, I enjoyed it. And they have made no points to be like, this is a sequel to Army Gals or whatever. No, I think this is just a one-off thing. I don't know if there's future Girls Part 2 or Part 3. One of the things I'm curious about is what would happen if you impregnated Ariel and she went back to the future. Because presumably, if I'm understanding this correctly, Leona is staying with Drew in the past, but Ariel is going to be with Drew in the future. So both parties end up happy? I think? Maybe? So why not just screw Ariel, get her pregnant, take her back to the future where she's going to be in a relationship anyways, and she could just straight up say, this is your baby from the past. It'll confuse the hell out of Drew, but if my knowledge of time is what I expect, then Drew in the future will remember this happening in the past, which means he would remember his encounters with Ariel in the past, remember that he got her pregnant, and both people could be happy. Am I misreading things? Am I not understanding this? Because time travel is always confusing. It's always confusing. But, I'm staring at Leona twice, for the record. I'm staring at her on the recording, and I'm staring at her on the actual game. And, yeah, I don't regret my choice. This is significantly more fun than Sakura Swim Club. Like, as much as I didn't really care for Ariel, I like her both. I like them both more than the other two. I don't even remember their names. Whereas with Army Gals, I can remember Ida, Rain, as much as she was annoying, and the third one, don't remember her name, but I remember Ida because she reminded me of a friend of mine, and Rain because she pissed me off so much. But with this, I remember those two well because, you know, it's fresh in my mind, but I don't remember Sakura Swim Club's women. I don't even know if I'm going to continue Sakura Swim Club, because I don't like it, but I paid for it, so I should. I am getting past the point here. What I wanted to say is thank you for joining me on this journey. I am slightly sorry that I had to censor so much. As always, any censorship art, because it's a Path of Radiance or Radiant Dawn character, mostly Path of Radiance, mostly Patrine's arm, is provided by Lutani. And whenever I use her art, I always credit her in the description, despite the fact that her Twitter is entirely not safe for work. So if you're a child watching this, don't go to her Twitter. I'm not responsible for anything that you see on her Twitter. But yeah, this was this was interesting. This was interesting. I'm glad that I read it. Read it. Yeah. Not much else to say. I'm gonna remember like 50 things that I could have said for this outro as soon as I finish recording. That's usually how this shit works. But it'd be really weird to make an entire extra part to be like, here's more outro thoughts. You know? I'm rambling. That's the term I couldn't think of before. Thank you all so much for watching this series. As always, you can find a link to purchase this in the comments below, because apparently YouTube doesn't like when you hyperlink off of their website. I likely will not be recording the Ariel part, because I kind of like the idea of having you guys check out the Ariel path for yourself. Well, with that said, I'm done rambling. Thank you all so much for watching this series, and I will see you in the next visual novel. Jackass, out!